This is CBC Here and Now.
We are back in Dildo tonight, where Jimmy Kimmel's campaign for mayor is growing, and we'll also speak with Kimmel's sidekick, Guillermo.
Today we have to campaign for Germain so he can be the mayor of Dildo, and tomorrow hopefully maybe we can go fishing.
What else does the late night talk show have planned for Dildo? But first,
we've ran the end of our rope here, and the doctors have ran what they can do.
Doctors say his wife must go to Toronto to diagnose a severe illness, but getting there as a patient isn't straightforward. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. Doctors are struggling to diagnose a gravely ill patient in St. John's. They told the family it's a medical mystery they can't crack. They want to send the patient out of province to a specialist, but administrative problems are preventing that from happening. Here and Now's Katie Breen is live tonight. So Katie, what is going on here?
Well, Suzanne Whalen is inside this hospital in limbo. For more than a year now, she's been having severe allergic reactions at random. Doctors can't figure out what's triggering it, but the episodes are getting worse. This was Suzanne Whalen and her husband and daughter not too long ago. 45 years old and totally healthy. Now she takes about 160 pills a week as doctors try and stabilize whatever it is that keeps flaring up.
This summer has been worse than last summer. This week is worse than last week. Okay, so it's actually wearing her down, and the doctors tell her that the more her body is fighting this reaction, the more tired it gets of fighting this reaction, and the more this reaction builds.
A medevac to Toronto could mean the answer. Whalen is too unstable to fly commercially. Her reactions come out of nowhere. One time she needed 16 EpiPens over 3 days to get things under control. Doctors here have run a ton of tests, but they can't figure it out.
They're a bit afraid maybe to try anything new, because they're afraid they might disturb something in her that might cause her to react and have something to the point where, they're basically going to lose her.
Doctors told family if there's anyone who can reach a diagnosis, it's a particular immunologist at St. Michael's Hospital, apparently one of the best in the country. Whalen has an appointment with him in 2.5 weeks. Her husband says the medevac is booked. But he says the immunologist doesn't have the authority to admit Whalen into hospital, and without someone to sign her in, the medevac won't fly.
There's always a barrier. Wherever we turn with this situation with Suzanne, there's a barrier.
He's speaking out on behalf of his wife because he doesn't want to put her in a situation that could trigger a reaction. He just wants her to be healthy again, and says communication is all that's needed to get her the help she needs.
I'm not saying the healthcare system here has failed us. I'm not saying that. I just think that we've ran the end of our rope here. The doctors have ran what they can do. They told us that already. Toronto is the place that she needs to be.
In a statement today, Eastern Health says it can't speak to Whalen's case specifically, but in general it says when complications arise, they try and come up with a solution. My questions today to the Toronto hospital went unanswered. Live in St. John's, I'm Katie Breen for Here and Now.
Well, luckily, no one was hurt in this accident this afternoon in Mount Pearl. This SUV slammed through the front door of a townhouse. The RNC responded around 2:30. The vehicle has since been towed away. Our CMP officers in Happy Valley Goose Bay met a diverted American Airlines flight from London to Chicago on the airport's tarmac this afternoon. American Airlines says the flight was diverted because of a disruptive passenger. Officers removed the passenger, the jet refueled, and resumed its flight. Well, still in Labrador, military divers have ended their search for a float plane that crashed almost a month ago. 6 members of the Halifax-based diving unit were dispatched to the remote lake where the float plane went down. They left the site on Friday. 7 men were on board the de Havilland Beaver when it crashed. They were traveling from a fishing camp to the lake. 4 bodies have been recovered and 3 are still missing, including the pilot and 2 American passengers.
All along the shorelines of beautiful Conception Bay North, people are tackling the trash problem one piece at a time. I'll tell you more coming up on Here and Now.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Guillermo. How's Dildo?
Dildo is great, fantastic.
It is. Are you excited to be there?
I'm very excited. People are here very friendly. I love Dildo.
That's Guillermo Rodriguez, Jimmy Kimmel's sidekick on his late night talk show in Dildo. Guillermo arrived in the province yesterday and appeared in last night's episode of the show, and speculation is building that Kimmel himself may come to Dildo. Jeremy Eaton is in Dildo right now. So Jeremy, how did last night's show go over there?
It went over very well. It's all that everybody has been talking about, but I met someone real quick. Dana, do you want to come over here? So this is Dana. Dana, where were you born?
I was born in Argentia,
And where were you baptized?
I was baptized just right up the road in Dildo, Newfoundland.
And when was the last time you were here?
I was here probably about, 48 years ago.
And so what do you think of all the hype here with Jimmy Kimmel?
Oh my gosh, I didn't come out for Jimmy, but I tell you, I'm glad I'm here during this time. It's lovely.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I appreciate your time.
All right.
So that's Dana. Now she's one of many people we've met here today who are all talking about how great Dildo and how great Jimmy Kimmel was last night. But we have a bit of a montage from that show. So Roddy, you want to roll that tape?
Hi, Guillermo. How's Dildo?
Dildo is great, fantastic.
It is. Are you excited to be there?
I'm very excited. People are here very friendly. I love Dildo.
Why does it sound like you're reading a script in a hostage video?
Oh, never, Jimmy. That's from the bottom of my heart.
Really? Because I saw a text exchange that you had with one of our producers, Jen, and she said, hey, let's put the text up. She said, hey, Guillermo, we're sending you to Dildo all next week. And you said, I think is bull. And then she said, we have you booked on a red eye Sunday night. And you said, so is confirmed is bull. The whole unbelievable.
Jimmy!
Yes.
I was drunk, Jimmy.
What did your wife say when you told her you were leaving her for Dildo?
She told me, bring me something from Dildo.
Okay. Now tell me about the town. What are your impressions so far?
So far, it's so good, Jimmy. Everybody like to say it's friendly, it's nice, it's a beautiful city here.
Now, Andrew is next to you. Andrew Pretty, he's been helping us organize our campaign. Andrew, how is Guillermo fitting in? Is he doing a good job representing me?
He was until we seen that text.
What was the name of the song? Just remind us.
Oh, the Dildo song.
The Dildo song. And John, hey, I love that song. Have you been signed to a label yet? Have you been receiving any calls?
No, but Jimmy, it's just like a pump by air in the place. We got a big thing going here now.
So as you can see, this is a Jimmy Hart's Dildo Kimmel for Mayor signs. Now, according to people here, a producer from ABC brought in 9 suitcases filled with those signs, and they used to be up all over town. The problem is they're very popular and they've become souvenirs. So if you can get your hands on one, people are actually sort of taking them home and keeping them. But Guillermo's appearance last night on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show is all that people are talking about here. The brewery has been full nonstop. There's more traffic here than I've seen in the few times that I've been to Dildo. But everybody here has embraced what's happening. They're not shy, they're not embarrassed, they're taking this, they're running from it. And it's not just the brewery, it's businesses all throughout this community who are benefiting from this. And everybody's asking the million-dollar question, when is Jimmy gonna come? And to be honest, we don't know, but we hear it soon. So I got a few more. We actually, our colleague, Radio Canada, she spoke with Guillermo earlier today. So later on the show, we're going to have that interview. Reporting live from Dildo. I never thought I'd get to say that. Jeremy Eaton for Here and Now.
Well, a Witless Bay resident says intense scrutiny over Ragged Beach has become harassment. Protesters stopped the town from building an erosion wall, but are concerned the construction marks the beginning of further development. Some residents believe the town is making way for a road that will lead across the beach into private property. The CBC's Meg Roberts has been following this story over the past few weeks and has more.
On a warm, mellow night, the Churchills sit here to watch the wildlife in the ocean. They also watch out for people. The couple's property has come under intense scrutiny after the town started construction on an erosion wall without a permit. Churchill says that scrutiny has turned into harassment.
We've, in fact, come across people up in the woods, crouched behind trees, you know, observing what we're doing down here. It's very unsettling.
Churchill says people have called him the devil's spawn, told him he should be drowned at birth, and have made threats to burn down his shelter. He plans on filing a complaint with the RCMP about concerns he has about the safety of his family.
My wife in particular, if she's up here by herself, I don't know if it's all talk, but it's some pretty harsh things.
The provincial government is now reviewing the erosion wall and deciding whether it will issue permits. But some residents believe the wall is part of an even bigger project, a road which will run along the beach up into the Churchill's property. Churchill says at first he thought it was a joke.
There is no road going into our land. We wouldn't want one. We want to keep this as natural as possible.
Some residents also believe that the Churchills aren't playing by the rules. The permit the town issued was for a gazebo, but residents are concerned over the structure's windows and door. The Churchills say the structure doesn't have electricity, insulation, bathrooms, or a kitchen. And no matter how much pressure they receive, they're not going anywhere.
I bought the land and it's my right to live here.
Meg Roberts, CBC News, Witless Bay.
Well, people in Conception Bay North are trash talking. They say the once pristine shores and vistas in their area are being fouled with garbage and they want it to stop. Here now's Mark Quinn reports.
This is something you don't see in Newfoundland and Labrador tourism ads, but it's a problem in many parts of the province.
Wow, why would people do that? It's so stunning. Look at the whales in the bay, and look at the dolphins, and look at the coastline.
Eugene Howell uses his camera to highlight the beauty of this Northern Bay Sands area, but he's also finding trash like this, and he's telling everyone about that too.
We all need to change our attitudes towards garbage.
Further along the shoreline in communities like Western Bay, like-minded people have been working on the same problem for at least 5 years.
Well, when we retired 5 years ago, me and my wife, Stella Johnson from Northern Bay, contacted us to do road cleanup. So we cleaned up all the roads from Adams Cove down, and it skyrocketed.
And they're convinced they're starting to beat the trash problem on shorelines like this beach that's tucked away in Western Bay.
It's a phenomenal difference. The first couple of years we were at it, we had my blue pickup there several times full. But this year now we just had several bags, and that's from Adams Cove all the way to Oval Cove, so it's a big difference.
And here's some of what they found recently. Clearly, the battle is not over yet, and they're calling for help. They say if everyone makes a little effort, it could make a big difference in spectacular places like this. Mark Quinn, CBC News, Western Bay.
The flooding of the Muskrat Falls Reservoir started about a week ago, and the effects on the flow of the river are clear. While the water rises on one side of the dam, on the other, the water flow is reduced. Here and Now's Jacob Barker checked out both sides of the project today.
So we're just up the Trans-Labrador Highway, and here you really get a sense of what flooding the reservoir is doing to the countryside here. I know I've driven this road several times, and you can see behind me trees that have been flooded. The water's come up quite some ways. And in the other direction, you can see the dam that's started to stop the water from flowing down. So if you come to this point, it really does give you a good idea of just what effect this dam is having, at least during impoundment. Curtis Saunders is getting his first look at the flooding he and others fear will create unsafe levels of methylmercury.
I'm dumbfounded by seeing everything being flooded here now. Yes, it did create a lot of employment. Yes, no doubt about it. It got its good and it's got its bad, but I think the bad overall reflects of people of Labrador, how they feel.
His family came to Happy Valley Goose Bay 3 generations ago. He says their way of life revolved around the river and this part of the river. Now that's all changed.
Like I said, I was never a trapper. I know my brother and my other family members, they canoed and boated up this river here for many, many years, and they trapped here. You know, not only my brothers or in family, but there's also elders from previous years, people from Northwest River, from Mud Lake. You know, this was their river, this was their livelihood in those days. And seeing it going underwater now, it's sad, very, very sad.
Just the other day, a piece of that history washed into the safety boom for the project. Crews were seen taking it out of the water. a cabin that belonged to a trapper and generations before him. He wouldn't agree to speak on camera today, but we're told that he knew this was coming. Even so, it was upsetting to him. Saunders and I took a walk downstream from the project as well. In contrast to the high levels above the dam, though up slightly today in this area, he says it's lower than he's ever seen them.
And I can walk almost up to Maxwell's and United Church from here. I never ever did that in my 58 years. You know, I'm sure you look at speak to the people along the riverbank and they'll tell you the same thing.
Saunders, who is a Nunatsiavut beneficiary, says he's proud of the stand his government took against the project. He says his people were never properly consulted or listened to.
I mean, like, they spend billions and billions of dollars here. Okay, if it's 6.2 billion or 6.5, or is it 13 billion now? And they can't, if they can't do no capping, and there's something wrong with the picture. And in the meantime, you're killing us off as Aboriginal people. For what?
Saunders knows that while impoundment is taking place, the river downstream will be lower than usual. But seeing the river and the changes along it for him and for many is not an easy sight to see. Jacob Barker, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Well, some stunning yachts in the St. John's Harbor today. Here we have the Georgia, a 159-foot luxury cruiser. When it was built in the year 2000, it was the largest sloop in the world. Now, a sloop is a single-mast sailboat for all of you land lovers. Also in the harbor, the Namaste, a 78-foot catamaran with 3 guest cabins. Packages start at $42,000 for 2 guests, but the Namaste is booked solid until November. And if that's not enough boat for you, the Georgia is actually for sale. You can pick it up for a cool $16.9 million. You're watching Here and Now. We'll be right back. Time now for a look at your weather forecast, starting with a snapshot of what's to come. A risk of thunder showers for much of the island tonight. Showers for central and the west coast potentially tomorrow. And then we're looking at a really nice stretch of lovely weather, particularly for the east coast. Here's a look at your highs today. A nice warm day, but quite a wet one on the island. 24 degrees in Badger, 13 degrees in Happy Valley, Goose Bay today. This is a look at what was happening earlier this afternoon. Lots of heavy showers and some thunder showers on the west coast and some downpours as well for the Avalon Peninsula and for the east there. So as we move ahead for tonight, looking at some heavier showers in Labrador for southeastern portions of Labrador, the Mary's Harbor area, and looking at some showers continuing as well for parts of the island, particularly the Avalon Peninsula, looking at some really heavy showers expected for later on tonight. So about 2 to 4 millimeters in the St. John's area, but could be as much as 10 millimeters in those heaviest downpours for the northeast coast, looking at about 5 to 15 millimeters. The heaviest rain looking to be in the St. Anthony area, 10 to 20 millimeters tonight, and 5 to 15 millimeters for the Corner Brook area. And you can see the entire island is looking at that risk of thunder showers tonight. Lighter rain for the Makovic area, about 2 to 4 millimeters there. A chance of that thunderstorm for the Straits, and Labrador City looking at an overnight low of 8 degrees. So we have this system that's tracking just south of the Avalon Peninsula. Shouldn't cause us much trouble over the next couple of days. Looking at some showers tomorrow morning for the Corner Brook area, as well as for western Labrador. That should start to clear off throughout the day. Then we're looking at another spot of showers for the northeast coast, and showers continuing in western Labrador tomorrow. So looking at a nice day in St. John's, 23 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, fairly light winds. There's that chance of showers for the Bonavista area. In central Grand Falls, Windsor, Gander, looking at that risk of showers throughout the day. Beautiful sunny day coming for Harbour Breton. Cool along the coast, but warmer as you move inland. For the Corner Brook area, risk of showers there as well. 21 degrees as the high, and throughout the Straits as well, looking at a risk of showers there. Happy Valley, Goose Bay, looking at a high of 18 degrees tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud, and western Labrador, as you can see, still in that pattern of wet weather. So as we move into Thursday, not much happening on the island for much of the morning. Later in the afternoon, we're looking at the potential for some showers developing as well for Labrador, but overall looking at quite a nice day on Thursday. A little bit cooler, 18 degrees in St. John's with a mix of sun and cloud. For Grand Falls, Windsor, and Gander, 22 degrees there with the chance of some showers developing later in the day. For the Marystown area, 18 degrees there, 20 degrees in Corner Brook, and cooler up in Labrador. So this is the nice stretch of weather I was talking about in the long range. Looks like a mix of sun and cloud right through until Sunday. Right now, temperatures a little bit on the cool side for Saturday, 16 degrees expected there, 19 for Sunday. That could change though, it's still a few days out. As for central areas, very similar story, some hot weather expected on the weekend. If this stays the way it is, then we're looking at a really nice weekend for central areas, as well as for western Labrador. Temperatures in the mid-20s there with a mix of sun and cloud. Moving up to Labrador, Saturday, Sunday looking quite nice there in the east, and for western Labrador, Saturday 21 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud with some more wet weather moving in on Sunday. And that's your weather forecast.
Today we have to campaign for Germain so he can be the mayor of Dildo, and tomorrow hopefully maybe we can go fishing.
A man with a mission. We'll meet Jimmy Kimmel's man in Dildo. Hear what Guillermo thinks of the place just ahead. Well, a conference in St. John's is focusing on designing tools and products that are more efficient and healthy to use. It's the first time the Association of Canadian Ergonomists held its annual conference in this province, and Cease Hare stopped by to learn more.
Work or at play, ergonomics is the design of the most efficient systems for human interaction and goes beyond physical workspaces like the office. Its application is everywhere.
I work a lot with the mining industry, so we're on the equipment, we're in the plants, so it's quite a range. Ergonomics can cover, it's every gamut. It's pretty much dedicated to the individuals and their environments and making sure that there's a good match between their systems, their products, their environments, and tools that they use.
This keynote speaker knows a thing or two about the importance of human interaction with her company's software. Catherine Courage from St. John's is Vice President of User Experience with Google in Silicon Valley.
I think if you're going to drive innovation in workplaces successfully, the most important thing is experimenting. Too often people want to drive to the solution, they want to start with the answer in mind, and it really involves exploring possibilities.
Down the conference hallway at the Delta, the latest in ergonomic solutions, gadgets, and products are on display. Terry Cassidy owns Ergocentric Seating Systems. He designs the office chairs and has 20 patents in his name.
You're going to be sitting in that chair for 10 years, hours a day, every day. This is serious. That's what we're here about. This is a serious business. There's huge injuries occurring from posture, poor postures, and there's solutions available, and companies need to know they really should be talking to an ergonomist when they're setting up new office space.
Cassidy's advice for companies setting up new offices is hire an ergonomist, not an interior designer. Cease here, CBC News, St. John's.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Guillermo. How's Dildo?
Dildo is great, fantastic.
It is. Are you excited to be there?
I'm very excited. People are here very friendly. I love Dildo.
Yes, as we've seen, Dildo is getting a lot of attention this week with appearances on Jimmy Kimmel Live. But just a few years ago, some people in the town complained that the provincial government was purposely ignoring it as a tourist destination. Why? Well, because of the connotations associated with the name. Here's a look back at that controversy with this story from the CBC's Wikipedia in 2011.
The signs all around town say nobody here has any qualms about where they live. In fact, the name is a popular draw for tourists who travel the Baccalieu Trail.
It's quite quaint, actually. Harold Smith magazine, as you're aware, voted one of the 10 prettiest towns in Canada, so we're quite proud of it.
Todd Warren has cashed in on Dildo's notoriety with an internationally recognized restaurant and B&B.
But to this day, no one actually has an official meaning of the name Dildo or how it come to be called Dildo.
Dildo is frequently mentioned in international travel books, but a few years ago it was dropped as a destination from the provincial government's own annual travel guide. And this year again, no Dildo.
The Department of Communications with the Department of Tourism mentioned that it was a sensitivity issue, that they chose not to use the word because of the different meanings of the word, and they didn't know how to actually handle using it.
Warren says he's tried to persuade tourism officials to recommend Dildo as a destination in their guide, but to no avail. Newfoundland's tourism minister says his department has already done a lot to promote the town.
I think there's been something like 60+ articles written about Dildo and from Dildo by different magazines. So if we were hiding the fact that we didn't want to have a place named Dildo, we wouldn't certainly not send a travel writer to write about the beautiful community that it is.
The provincial government says Dildo could be featured in next year's travel guide. Even if that doesn't happen, people around here are confident the tourists will keep coming back. Wikipedia, CBC News, Dildo.
Well, I imagine it's definitely in the travel guide now, and with all this attention from Jimmy Kimmel Live this week, our Jeremy Eaton is live in Dildo tonight. So, Jeremy, CBC managed to nab Guillermo today, right?
Yeah, so Jimmy Kimmel, obviously, he wants to become the mayor of Dildo after learning about it from local media last week. So he sent down Guillermo, his sidekick, to help push this campaign forward. But today, Kimmel also got another offer in what was perhaps the most bizarre press release ever sent to the CBC newsroom in Newfoundland and Labrador. A website that specializes in adult material has offered the Kimmel campaign $50,000 to help him become the mayor of Dildo. Now, not too sure on if Kimmel is going to accept that offer, but his people on the ground are working hard. Guillermo was out talking to the locals, trying to figure out what they would like Jimmy to do if he did become the mayor, and despite his very busy schedule, Guillermo did take some time to speak to local members of the media, and here's a little bit of that tape.
Well, I like it a lot. Everybody's so friendly, so nice. It's a beautiful town. It's so like fresh, so nice.
You're taking back what you said then the other night through text message?
Well, the problem is that when they told me like, oh, you got to pack right now and everything. So I was with my family and with my son and everything and my wife. So I was like, oh my God, like the whole week. And I was like, oh my God. But then, it's hard to get here because it's far. But when you get here, it's such a nice place. It's beautiful.
So what's the plan for today and for the next week?
Well, today we have to campaign for Germain so he can be the mayor of Dildo. And tomorrow, hopefully, maybe we can go fishing. Just want to say thank you to all the people from Dildo, for having us. Such a nice place. It's good and good food.
When you were first told you're going to Dildo, Newfoundland, what was the first thing that came to mind?
Well, the first thing that came to mind, I was like, oh my God, I'm wondering like how the people gonna be, are they gonna be so friendly and everything? But when I got here, I was so surprised. I was like, they're so great, so good people. We've been going a lot of different places, but coming here is like, like real far, but it's like different world, you know, it's like nice.
We came here because we feel the need to provide a great amount of support for our mayoral candidate, Mr. Kimmel.
Okay. Yeah, we're just really excited that Newfoundland is being put on the grid by Jimmy Kimmel, so we wanted to get in on the hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been out in Dildo, so good excuse to come out and see everything while everyone's coming out here to see it.
Okay. Is it your first time also? Yeah. We live 1 hour away and we've never made the journey over to Dildo, so it seemed like the right time.
I've been wanting to come here for a while just to see it, but yeah, the show is what really pushed me and gave me that final drive that I had to come to Dildo.
Okay. And final question, what do you think about all this fuss about Dildo this last week?
I really like to see it putting Newfoundland on the map, and it's in a good way. It's not in a bad way. It's just a lot of fun, and I think it's great, especially for the town.
Yeah, it's really exciting for Newfoundland and Dildo's economy, a little small town being seen all over the world.
Yeah, it's like a place that not many people hear about, so I think it's exciting for everyone here to finally hear about and see like the beautiful landscape and everything.
So as you can see, there's some people taking advantage of the Dildo brewery here. Now, we've been talking to people. Now, Mike and I, the camera guy, Mike and I were on the outside of the brewery chatting to people. Just wanted to point that out to everybody. But a lot of people, a lot of American tourists are in town. A lot of them wanted to come here anyways, but the Jimmy Kimmel angle certainly helped. Now, there's also some, I almost walked in the water. Oh my goodness. So this sign, so this hill here behind us, there's a special sign being made similar to what you'd see in Hollywood. It would say Hollywood, but there are 4-foot tall letters, white letters that are en route to Dildo that are going to be put up, and instead of Hollywood, it'll say Dildo in the background. And a lot of people here are very excited about all that this attention, free attention, I might add, coming to the town. So it's safe to say that the town of Dildo is certainly abuzz with the Kimmel campaign.
Oh gosh.
Was that too much?
So many
Did I go
jokes.
too far?
No, not too much. So much has been made of it already. Jeremy, thank you so much. It'll be interesting to see how this week plays out for sure.
Well, everybody here is talking about it nonstop. It's very exciting. There certainly is a lot of excitement here in the small community of Dildo, and people are looking forward to see if Jimmy actually comes himself.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Jeremy. Yeah, she's been in the choir since 1938. Now she's 100 years old and still singing. Her story coming up. Welcome back to Here and Now. Health officials are seeing a rise in sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea and syphilis. The reason? Well, they call it condom fatigue. Put another way, more people are not practicing safe sex. Here and Now's Peter Cowan spoke to Dr. Janice Fitzgerald to find out more.
So why are we seeing these increases with STIs like gonorrhea and syphilis?
I think a lot of the reason is that people don't have an appreciation of the risk of contracting one of these sexually transmitted infections. And so we're seeing people not using condoms as much as they should. And so because of that, we're seeing a greater transmission. But also people, I think, don't have an appreciation for just what the risk is of the consequences. So they think these are easily treatable diseases without a lot of consequences, which is not true. They can have some complications that can result.
So tell me, what are some of the complications that you're seeing with people who maybe have more advanced stages of these diseases?
So with syphilis in particular, with advanced syphilis, you can certainly get cardiac heart problems, heart-related problems. You can also get neurological problems, which can occur in any stage of the disease. And if a woman is pregnant, she can pass syphilis on to her unborn child, which can result in complications for that child and developmental delays, cognitive deficits, things like that. So.
Now, these diseases and those risks have always been there. How much do you think the reduced, I guess, danger that people feel from HIV or because it used to be considered a death sentence, now it's more like a manageable long-term disease.
It's a chronic disease, yeah.
Right. So if people aren't as afraid of getting HIV/AIDS, is that leading to some of the reduced condom use that you're talking about there?
Perhaps. I don't know that anyone has done any definitive studies on that, but perhaps that is part of the reason, and that we've seen this condom fatigue, we call it, that we've been seeing. So, yeah.
And so what are you doing to try and reverse some of these trends?
So we're trying to engage with education techniques both through social media, trying to access some of these more vulnerable populations that we feel need a little bit of extra education and extra knowledge and information. And we're also trying to engage with we're trying to develop a strategy on a provincial level for dealing with that, and we've certainly engaged with education to try to improve reach within the school-age children.
So in other large cities, there'll often be walk-in clinics where you can just show up and get tested. Here, all of the options require you booking appointments well in advance. Why isn't there sort of an easy-to-access drop-in option that's available?
That's something we're looking at right now, is to how do we improve the reach of our testing. And so we have, as part of this strategy that we're developing, that is one of the pillars of the strategy, is to improve testing and surveillance of sexually transmitted and bloodborne infections. So we are hoping that we'll be able to develop some of those.
How much of this is related to family doctors, and how much are they doing a good job in terms of recommending to patients who maybe who may not come in and say, hi, I need to get tested, but are in an age group that might be more vulnerable, or maybe someone who needs the testing and just hasn't thought about it?
As physicians, we've also, I think, for my generation in particular, I think, we've been very lucky in that we haven't seen a whole lot of gonorrhea and syphilis, so it's not always something that we think about. But we would like family doctors to think about that for anybody who may be in certain risk age groups, or if they're known to have certain risk behaviors, that family doctors do think about testing for that.
Rates are up in this province. What about in the rest of Canada? How do we compare?
We're seeing similar trends in the rest of Canada. Our rates are not quite as high as some other provinces, but we are certainly seeing that same trend everywhere and worldwide as well. So,
well, thank you very much for talking to me about it.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, the largest Black community in Canada is celebrating a homecoming this week. The Preston Townships, just outside Halifax, Nova Scotia, is celebrating its culture, history, and achievements. One person taking part in the event is a 100-year-old woman who's still singing to her heart's content. The CBC's Colleen Jones has more.
Under the big tent, the choir is making their entrance. And in this very large group is a very small lady whose very name conjures up what the Preston Townships are all about. Meet Eliza Brooks, 100 years old. She started in the choir back in 1938. She's being honored.
She said she feels like she could go back to work now.
That's Dr. Joyce Ross celebrating Eliza, but her starring role in this spiritual celebration is just getting going.
By Mrs. Eliza Brooks.
With the mass choir backing her up, it was time for her to sing a song she has sung thousands of times. This may be the last time. Her performance brought down the house. Joe Colley is the energetic choir director.
For as long as I live, I'll never forget that the opportunity was to be in the same presence of that lady. 100 years old, I'm honored.
I learned my own self how to sing.
And this song, well, it's one of her favorites.
This may be the last time, I don't know. It means a lot to me.
It's great. It's unbelievable.
It was a blessing to have her with us. Even a blessing to have this. This is a dream of mine that came true. And I thank God that we followed it through, because we get so much negative news about our Prestons. My decision was to turn it around. We can't change the negative, but we can show the positive.
And this is what positive is. Colleen Jones, CBC News, Cherrybrook.
It's something to look forward to, that you know you're going to enjoy and people are going to be nice.
She starts her day at 5 a.m. and then doesn't stop. If you need motivation to get active, this woman from PEI might be it. Well, let's head back to Dildo now, where our roving reporter Jeremy Eaton is live. So, Jeremy, who have you been chatting with since we last saw you?
Well, I had to put on my jacket because I scared myself and I almost walked into the ocean like an idiot. Anyways, I've been chatting to lots of people. There's been lots of people around. Just lots of people are certainly excited about this. But we found Brent here. Brent.
Nice to meet you.
Brent is also known as Nug.
Yeah.
And if you watched the Kimmel broadcast last night, you would have seen him. How did you end up in all of this, Brent?
I don't know, man. I was just at work at the museum in South Dildo, and an NTV van pulled up and asked me if I want to do an interview about Jimmy Kimmel possibly moving here. So I was like, get the camera.
So you were on the broadcast, and what was that like to be on national TV? What is everyone saying about your TV appearance last night?
Man, my Facebook and everything is just blowing up, man. I can't even turn my phone on, really. It's pretty overwhelming right now, yeah.
So we saw you last night. Are we going to see you again? Is there any going to be Guillermo and Nug adventures?
Oh, there's definitely, yeah, that's coming up. I'm going to be on the show all week, every night this week.
And how does that make you feel from a kid from New Harbor, just down the road here from Dildo, to be on like an international show as big as Jimmy Kimmel Live?
Man, I'm just going with it. I don't even know what to think anymore. I'm just going with it, see how far it goes.
That's perfect. Anyways, Brent, man, thanks for taking the time to chat to us. I appreciate it, and have fun this week.
Yeah, for sure I will. Right on.
Right on, man. So Brent is one of many people very excited about Jimmy Kimmel being in town. Or sorry, Jimmy Kimmel and the possibility of coming to town. Guillermo and Brent are going to be together all week, so I'm sure people will be tuning in. And hopefully on tonight's broadcast, maybe Jimmy Kimmel will drop a little bit of a hint as to when he might actually show up in Dildo. Carolyn, I'm freezing. I'm throwing it back to you in the studio.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. Go get warmed up for sure. I'm sure a lot of people in this province are going to be watching or PVRing Jimmy Kimmel tonight. Absolutely. Well, if you need some motivation to exercise, this next story may help you get off the couch. It's about an 80-year-old woman from PEI who regularly gets up at 5 a.m. to milk the cows and then heads out to the soccer pitch. Stephanie Van Kempen has that story.
Barbara Simpson-Taylor has been lacing up her cleats on the soccer pitch since 1979. She started when her daughter's team needed extra players, and the coach asked mothers to join. Simpson-Taylor jumped in and never looked back.
It just kept going, and I got to like it. The more I played, the more I liked it.
She just turned 80 and still plays 3 times, about 6 hours a week. In her 40 years of play, she's broken an arm and required knee surgery, but says the sport has gotten her through tough times, and the team has become like family.
It's something to look forward to, that you know you're going to enjoy and people are going to be nice.
Her teammates, men and women as young as 18, say not much stops her from coming out to play.
Barb is one of those players you can count on showing up, whether it's shining or raining, whether there's good weather or bad weather, whether it's cold or super hot. She's just one of those super dependable players.
So what's her secret?
I don't know. I just keep going, I guess. Yeah, I guess because I love the game. Good game, good game.
The score at the end of the game doesn't much matter. She'll be back to do it all again in a couple days when winter hits indoors. And she's got no plans to hang up her cleats anytime soon.
Retiring? What's that? I don't know the definition of that. But because I love the game, I guess, and I don't have many ailments, or don't think I do.
Stephanie Van Kempen, CBC News, Charlottetown.
Here's some good news on the health front. Scientists say the deadly Ebola virus could soon become a treatable and even preventable disease. A recent drug trial involving patients in the Democratic Republic of Congo showed significantly improved survival rates. Researchers say more than 90% of people who are infected with Ebola can survive if treated with these new drugs.
Now have a vaccine which is highly efficacious. We have treatment which really shows good data.
Outbreaks of Ebola have occurred sporadically since the disease was identified 40 years ago. It's transmitted through contact with bodily fluids. 90% of patients die. Health officials say the new drugs will be given to every one of Congo's Ebola patients, where a current outbreak has killed nearly 2,000 people. Well, in Hong Kong, violence erupted at the protest at the international airport today. Demonstrators have been staging sit-ins there for 5 days now, and that's disrupted flights for the past 2 days.
What we're saying is we want an investigation. I want a full investigation. And that's what I absolutely am demanding.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, visitors to the Paris Aquarium can expect to see something a little out of the ordinary. A vegetable garden full of eggplants, peppers, and green tomatoes growing out of a tank full of fish. Yeah, it was planted just under a year ago, and both fish and plants are thriving. The plants purify the water in the tank, while nitrogen-rich fish poop fertilizes the plants. The system is low maintenance and an eco-friendly example of mutual benefits. And the Perseids meteor shower reached its peak last night, and a stargazer in Japan caught it on video. Yeah, the annual event happens when the Earth crosses the path of the Swift-Tuttle comet. It sheds debris, creating a dazzling display. You can catch the shower on dark nights until August 26th. No telescope is necessary, but Perseids can travel up to 60 kilometers a second, so you don't want to blink and miss it. Might be kind of hard to see that tonight on the island, considering we have some showers moving through for much of the island. Quite cloudy in the skies tonight. And thank you so much for joining us, everyone. That's it for this edition of Here and Now. We're going to leave you with a shot of the Parkway to see what it's like outdoors right now. Actually, quite nice. Cleared right off, it seems. Lots of sunshine in the sky. Do have a chance of showers overnight tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.